Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And this is our first returning guest, Amazin LêThị. How are you, Amazin?
Good, thank you. Oh, fantastic. I didn't realize I was your first returning guest.
You are. Everybody's been, a first, and we'd have them, come on, but we haven't anybody come on for a subsequent try yet. But hopefully, you'll set a new trend.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But no, it's been for those that don't know the exact date, in case you're watching this later. Last weekend was kind of the last big weekend of Pride. I mean, it was we had global Pride and virtual Prides everywhere. I was personally in New York, and we were there. There's a lot going on, and so now it's almost in some ways kind of a recap. But Amazon, you were busy this month.
I was. I mean, really interesting because I just obviously we never knew with the pandemic of, in terms of the work that I do because I'm usually traveling, if I would be busy or not. And this has been the busiest Pride I've ever had in my life. And I just think because, if there's a silver lining, is that however much we love Prides in person, but because this was virtual, you could connect the entire world. I mean, I was part of the first 24-hour global Pride 2020. I've done so many different events with different countries around the world. I mean, tomorrow I'm doing an event part of China Pride. And then, that evening afternoon, I'm doing another event with the Australian consulates in Chicago. And then on Wednesday, I'm doing another event with the UK embassy. So it's been a really interesting time. And I think, with all my work in terms of how to engage the world and amplify the Asian LGBTQ voice, it has really been an advantage having this virtual space because I've been able to have these global conversations. So I partnered with the Advocate magazine throughout the entire duration of Pride Month to amplify Asian LGBTQ voices by taking over their Instagram. So I had all these different live Instagram chats with very well-known Hollywood Asian actors, from Leo Shen, from The L Word, to Leonardo Nam, from Westworld. And, we just didn't think of having that kind of engagement before. And I think because everyone's at home, you have a captive audience as well. And, obviously people are hungry and thirsty for seeing a mirror image of themselves, but also hearing their own stories as well during Pride Month.
No, you did incredible. And in fact, it was really, I would say also because you were just coming off of last month's Asian Pacific Island Heritage Month, and there was so much you were doing then. But I don't think anybody could have predicted that Pride would kind of collide with its roots in activism and protests, and the way racism became such a big part of everything in Pride Month. But it's a sensitive subject. But the fact that Asians have been so discriminated against because of the coronavirus, at least, so you were kind of like in that perfect place where you were really able to kind of share a lot of stories and make sure people understood exactly what was happening out there.
Absolutely, it really became this platform that I had always dreamed of, in terms of being able to fully amplify the Asian LGBTQ voice, share the challenges and barriers that we face, across sports and society, in the workplace, and be able to share our stories in a global space and have this captive global audience that's at home, because obviously usually people are out and about working. So the foot traffic in terms of watching something, it isn't as great compared to this Pride Month. And I think moving forward, we have to look differently in terms of, what will Pride look like from 2021. Hopefully we'll be able to have in-person events, but we really do have to make use of this virtual global stage that we do. And I think of, being part of, 2020 Global Pride, I really feel like that should continue as kind of, a virtual space Pride to bring so many voices together all at once.
I think it will. And that's the thing we were chatting about earlier, is that we don't know what that's going to look like. But my gut feel definitely tells me that that in 2021 and 2022, we're going to see kind of a lot of the lessons that we've learned over the last, really even over the last month. What works, what doesn't, what do people resonate with, what do they engage with the most. And I think a lot of those lessons are going to take us into some incredible places in the very near future.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I've had besides all the work that I've done through Pride Month, and I've also, you know, I've ended it with an extraordinary bang in terms of being listed by We Make Change, the 2020 Global Changemaker, the first Vietnamese and LGBTQ Vietnamese person, as well as being listed in Go magazine, 100 Women We Love list.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Well, there's a lot going on, you know, for the whole summer. After the things you were talking about in the next few days, what are your plans for the summer for all this? Are you going to just continue on this path?
Absolutely. For me, it's about keeping the momentum going, because I realized during Pride, particularly the work I did with the advocate around amplifying Asian LGBTQ voices, there's just a thirst for hearing stories and having discussions that are very intersectional, but also from marginalized LGBTQ communities, like, you know, my own community, that you just don't hear from because we're usually not given this kind of platform. So my goal is to continue having these conversations in the public space over summer, because we know that over the next, you know, at least this year, we're going to be still in shutdown. So it's still going to be a virtual space. And then, you know, I'm looking now towards Tokyo 2021 around, you know, the discussions that we can have around being Asian and LGBTQ equality for the continent and my community, and how we need to start, you know, stepping up and using sport as this platform for change as we start opening up in the world.
Yeah, no, I love that. I also am hoping to go to the Gay Games in Hong Kong, and I believe it's 2022. So, you know, I'm optimistic that we'll all be able to join and connect in the real world at events like this coming up.
Oh, absolutely. I think we will, absolutely will. And I think, you know, we're having to look at, you know, what kind of brave new world do we want? Because it has to be different. In terms of the LGBTQ community, we have to unify in a completely different way. In terms of sport, we're already seeing that change, how, you know, athlete activism has accelerated completely coming out of this shutdown because of the Black Lives Matter movement that has, you know, been happening over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I love this. So it's wonderful to be able to reconnect with you here again. And I look forward to our third time together in the next few months, where we just kind of take a new snapshot of what you've been up to with this incredible work.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to coming back again in the next few months to reconnect again and continue our conversation.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
All
Okay,
right, take
bye.
care.
Okay, bye.